Pleased to be joined by Brady this morning. Brady, bottom line, what's the reason you decided to come back to the University of Arkansas?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. It basically came down to two things. One was I had set a number that I wanted, especially with, being 20 years old, having some leverage. And, I was perfectly happy with, coming back to Arkansas and having another great year and, trying to finish some unfinished business that a lot of players felt like, we should have finished throughout the season, but we had a great season. We had a great time, and, we're all grateful for the kind of year that we all had.
Brady, yesterday, one of your teammates, Jalen Battles, also announced that he's coming back to school. Now, I know you guys have a friendship. Did you guys talk? Did y'all share a conversation this week, last couple weeks, about what you were going through this process and why y'all both eventually decided to come back to campus?
We had a few conversations. It was kind of more of, hey, what do you think you're going to do? Or, hey, you think about doing this? And, I kind of felt that we both felt like we could always, come back and, the fans would embrace us. And, we felt like we could get it done this year. And so, we're both very grateful to be able to come back to a place where you can, play this type of baseball and have, this kind of success.
Yeah. Brady, give us an idea of the difference in facilities and your ability to develop as a player at a level that at Arkansas or other SEC institutions where you've got the indoor, you've got the hitting lab and the pitching lab and all the facilities that are at your fingertips here versus pro ball. We talk about it from the outside and just what we think we know. Give us an idea of what the differences would be in the presumed drop off from Arkansas to going to rookie ball or single A ball. What that would be like, and the difference if you went pro at this point.
Well, I do know that we have probably the best player development facility in the whole country, and probably just even in the minor leagues as well. But you can do so much. You can, with that new building out in right field. We all took a tour after the season, and it's going to be unbelievable. I mean, we're going to have all the things we can, to get better. And, we're all very blessed because we could feel like we can max out our potential on the field by getting all these, resources that we have.
What are your plans now for the summer in regards to baseball?
Well, as of lately, I've just been at home working out, rehabbing the ankle. Me and the coaches decided that if I was to come back, I didn't need to play summer ball just because they felt like I just needed to, get healthy on my ankle. I mean, I know I came back and played, but, I just really wanted to help my team win, but the ankle wasn't 100%, and, it's a long process.
Brady, let's go back to that instance in Hoover. I'm sure most of our audience at some point in time have sprained their ankle, but not to the gravity that you did. When you're running, trying to get to first, and your foot hits the side of the bag and it turns in the manner which it does, is that the worst pain that's ever gone through your body?
Oh, it was horrible. Immediately I went and grabbed my ankle, and it was so swollen. Like I didn't even know where my ankle was. I couldn't even feel any bones or anything. And the trainer kind of mumbled something and was asking where it hurt, and he just basically said it's broken. And thankfully we went back and got an MRI back there, and it wasn't. But the bruise was really gnarly right after, and for a long time too. And it still is swollen right now, actually.
Oh, wow.
But so they said it would take months to heal, but it's doing a lot better.
So in that moment where you're laying on the field holding your ankle, Did you fear your season was over? I mean, when you thought it was broken, I mean, that had to be the thought crossing your mind is, it's over for this year. I'm done. My run to perhaps Omaha is finished. Was that a thought that was even crossing your mind at that moment?
Yeah, that was probably the first thing that crossed my mind. I was like, man, I got to get surgery on it. I'm not going to be able to help my teammates go to Omaha. A bunch of these things that you've worked so hard for in the fall and throughout the season. You're like, man, it really had to happen in the SEC tournament. But
it got you a lot of TV time. I don't know if you were aware of that, but you were on TV quite a bit in the boot and the dugout.
No, I did not know that.
Brady Slavens here with us on the Morning Rush. Brady, Tommy was talking about just kind of maybe thinking your season was over. Well, you gutted it out. You came back. Heck, your ankle's still swollen, and we're weeks removed from that injury, months removed from that injury. When you go back to that North Carolina State series and you go back to postseason, or was it just a mentality? Was it just a mindset that you were going to play no matter what?
I just felt like, yeah, it was kind of like I wanted to tough it out because we've made it this far, and I want to do everything I can to help my team win. And, looking back on it, I probably shouldn't have came back against Nebraska. But, the mentality and the want to win was just too much there, and I just wanted to get back.
Brady, I know the season you were talking about earlier didn't end like you wanted, but you guys still had a highly successful year. When you look at what North Carolina State, how they were eliminated, how it was taken away the NCAA tournament, I know there's probably a mixed bag of emotions since they were the guys that eliminated you. But how did you and the team feel when North Carolina State was knocked out because of COVID? Was that a conversation you guys had within a group text, within the locker room, and just kind of share your thoughts on when North Carolina State wasn't able to finish in the College World Series?
I mean, we were all shocked. I mean, we all felt like North Carolina State was playing so well that we actually thought they were all going to win the national championship. We're like, this team is going to go all the way. And we weren't even shocked that they were 2-0 going into it, just because, their offense is so good. Their arms were doing so well, their starters. And then they had those two bullpen arms that were just unbelievable. And so they were the hottest team going in, and we felt like, man, we really just got knocked out by a team that didn't even get a chance to play for a national championship. And, we all felt for them. And, we're really sad about, how that kind of happened.
Yeah. Brady Slavens with us here on the Morning Rush. You hit 14 dingers this year. Robert Moore hit 16. There were several of you on the chase. How big a conversation was that amongst your teammates of who was going to hit more home runs this year for the Razorbacks? Is that a big competition? Were you all in a inter-squad competition to try to do that?
I mean, kind of. I mean, we have different...
No, there's no kind of. You wanted to be the guy, right?
It's just you and us, Brady. You can tell us.
I mean, yeah, there kind of was. Yeah, nobody really talked about it that much, but the only thing that makes me mad is that Robert hit more than me. If anybody else hit more than me, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, but you had the ankle problem. If it hadn't been for the ankle, you'd have had 17, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And that's a fellow kid.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But I think of myself more of a, I'm going to stay in the middle of the field, try to hit over 400 feet, and if the wind's not helping you, then you're not going to even get it close out there.
Yeah. You're from Olathe, Kansas, just outside of Kansas City. When did Arkansas baseball become a thing for you? When did the Razorbacks even get on your radar as a kid growing up? When did you start paying attention to Arkansas? Because you went to Wichita State for a little while, a little JUCO. Where did because what was it, Johnson County Community College? Tell me when Arkansas became a place you desired to go.
Well, they started out talking to me back my sophomore year in high school, and I never took a visit or anything like that. But it really started after my JUCO season, and they were still talking to me during the season, and then when it ended and everything is when the talk started to ramp up, and obviously I was getting more calls from other schools, but I just really felt that Arkansas really was the place for me, specifically in my player development. And looking back on it, I'm really grateful that they gave me this opportunity, and saw something in me in my short JUCO season.
Yeah, I just you got obviously Robert Moore. There's been other players from the Kansas City area that have been on this roster over the years. I just wonder if the good players in Kansas City, is Arkansas becoming the place that, hey, sure hope Dave Van Horn comes and watches my games or makes that phone call, as Arkansas kind of become that place in the greater Kansas City area that, hey, the good players want to come to Arkansas to play baseball? Is it starting to gain that cachet?
Yeah, it's kind of like, if you get recruited by Arkansas in the Kansas City area, you're like the top of the top, the best of the best. And it's all those guys, all those Kansas City guys, really kind of stay connected. And, we all think that, Arkansas is a place to be up there.
All right, Brady,
I
was going to say, before we let you go, bud, as we're talking about Kansas City, since that's the home of some of the best barbecue in the country, it's a very important question as we close down shop here. What is Brady Slavens' go-to barbecue when he's back? And I know you're from Olathe, but back in the Kansas City area.
KC Joe's.
So we're getting brisket, we're getting ribs, burn-ins.
Z-Man.
What are we getting when we go there?
The Z-Man. I think it's brisket, onion ring, barbecue sauce, and cheese, and it's all in a sandwich.
It's fantastic. I've had it before. Well, Brady, we appreciate you making some time for us this morning. I know that we're months upon months away from Arkansas baseball, but it's still going to be a topic of conversation based on you, Jalen, the high school recruits that are coming in, the team that y'all have coming back. Looking forward to watching you guys this upcoming season, man.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you all for having me.
Absolutely. That is Brady Slavens.